Okay, you know about the meeting?
They know.
I have meeting with Albert Cho.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you. Okay. Can you give me a highlighter?
Oh, okay. But around. You just came or you have been around?
No, I just came.
Okay.
I was looking for this room.
You know Professor Rao?
I'm Nirmala.
Thank you.
You know Albert, and we've had.
He's a very nice guy.
Lot of respect. How is even nicer?
I know you've had a very, very difficult time.
And you are adding to my difficulties. Sorry to say.
No. We are here trying to help.
You know, we are a university, Ahmed. We are here to support the students, right?
Let's see.
We are here, but I understand that you've had a very, very difficult time. And, you know, things happened, and you submitted various appeals. So what I wanted to meet you and talk to you. Now, I am the chairperson of the Board of Graduate Studies for the university and the executive associate dean of the graduate school. Now, what happened?
Before you go, would you like to put down your back?
No, it's
make
fine.
yourself
Yeah, and maybe have something to drink?
No, it's fine. I just had tea.
Okay.
So, basically, you know, the university, right? We have lots of, as you know, we have lots of procedures. Any kind of decision that is made cannot be made just by one person, right? We have committees and we have what we call due process, right?
Right.
So on October 23rd, November 20th, check the date. Okay. You launched an appeal to the faculty's decision to terminate your candidature to the graduate school.
No, in fact, let me correct. Sorry, I am interrupting you. I launched an appeal on 7th or 8th of October to the graduate school. Just a minute, I'll bring something with me. On 27th October, it was received by the graduate school.
Yes.
And it was 7th or 8th of October when I launched appeal to the faculty.
Okay. Anyway, the appeal that you made about the decision has come to me.
Okay.
And then after we, so our process, okay, we have certain procedures and we have to follow. So one, we get the perspective of the student,
Right.
which you have, we have actually 55 pages of documentation of all your emails and everything. And we also request the faculty to provide us a chronology of events.
Right.
Okay. So before I go into the specifics, let me just tell you the macro picture. Okay.
Please.
So, because we are obviously concerned with student learning and we're
I hope
concerned
so.
with students, the first thing we have to determine is if a student is found not to be doing well, postgraduate student, they must be given a warning. Okay, that must be indicated in the biannual progress report, and we must be fair.
Right.
We must give the student a period of time to improve. Okay?
Right.
So you must, and if improvement is not evident
Right.
by that period, then we consider that the faculty has, done what it can to help the student, because this is a learning institution. Okay?
Right.
So we have gone through the whole situation, the whole documentation. The first biannual report of the faculty, they told you that the progress is barely satisfactory, correct?
I admit, yes.
And they have documented this, and a letter was given, and then they said you have all the documents that your progress should be reviewed, right?
Yes.
To see if you have learned enough to make enough to successfully complete.
It revealed in how
In
much
6
time?
months, in
Yes.
6 months.
Okay.
In 6 months, okay. And then,
And this was submitted on 16th of May.
okay. And then after that, in August, they have given you an unsatisfactory, that the progress is unsatisfactory, that you are not, I think you know all the details about the chemistry class that you
Yes,
are to
yes.
take and all that. And you had mentioned that you felt you hadn't time to prepare.
No, I don't have it. I did not said I have felt that I don't have time to prepare. I am here for studies. That's my objective. I was not intimated about the test.
Right. Okay, but
Not to be felt for
Yeah.
test, to prepare for test, and not to be told about test. Two different things.
Okay, everything, there are two sides, okay?
Yes,
so
yes,
what is, from the faculty's perspective, I'm being very open and straightforward,
I appreciate that.
is that this is an undergraduate course. So undergraduate course, we expect the performance, or your performance was near the bottom of the undergraduate course. So they said for the PhD students, we are expecting them to be able to pass a course like this without even studying, because this is the basic theoretical knowledge. Okay?
May I interrupt you here?
Yes, please.
With the meeting with the David Dejan, Dr. Albert Cho was there. Regarding this particular question, I even write in my email, and I raised this point that if any 3 professors outside of Hong Kong they declare that that particular test was at undergraduate level, I will leave right now. That particular test was assembled in such a way it covers almost every single aspect of the text. It has questions from the literature, it has questions from the books. So just to, I wish, it was my desire, I have mentioned several times that I want my supervisor to be answerable to my questions, because she is the right person who know exactly the details. Now if I am talking in her absence, it don't make sense. If she would have been present here, then I can challenge her. And for this, you can check my email that whether I have challenged this, that if any 3 persons out of Hong Kong, because I understand that she has some influence, she has some relations within Hong Kong, being the member of so many organizations. So to be fair, any professor out of Hong Kong, if they say that the paper she is saying that was at undergraduate level, I can leave tomorrow. But even then, let me be with you that if it was at undergraduate level, is that the procedure to take the test? And if that is really, then why not that is applicable to every single person?
I'm not a chemist. I'm not a.
I am not talking about chemistry. I am talking about administrative level.
I'm just talking about the knowledge base. one thing I do know.
Say for example, just for the time being, I am with my supervisor. Just for the time being, imagine that it was really at the undergraduate level. So why don't you conduct all the exams in the same way? You know, so that you can have a clear picture about the students. Why you intimate them? And did you ask from her that the exam which she took on 3rd of May, why she needed necessary to write me an email on 2nd of May? Oh, this is your exam tomorrow, come here at this time, and if you cannot perform well, you will be kicked out from here. But at the other moment, she never feel it necessary. Did you ask from her that why she feel it necessary at that moment and not at this moment? That was also undergraduate level, if she is saying undergraduate at this moment, not at that moment.
You know, I think perhaps you understand how the PhD supervision process works. You know, it is through obviously working closely in a lab with a professor who's known. We are not in a position to challenge. We do not.
Yes, that's why I requested. I want her to be answerable to my questions.
Yeah. No, see, I have to explain, Ahmed. We are looking at the procedures, okay, the academic procedures, the administrative procedures. We do not look at, you know, should this person have been given an A or a B on a test. This is not our remit, okay? This is a university. You will be a professor one day. There's an academic trust and an academic freedom, and we will not second guess. I mean, I think I need to explain this to you from the perspective of the graduate school. We work very closely with our faculties. If there is something wrong, if the procedure is not followed, if it's unfair, we will definitely, we are very principled and will follow, but we will not micromanage an academic decision. You see, so what I want to highlight to you is this is an academic decision, okay, that they have made. We are looking at the procedures by which they followed to make this academic decision, and the procedures which they used to convey this academic decision, and the procedures that they used to support the student to do their studies.
Okay, Professor Nirmala, I have a question. You are talking about the test, but you don't know what happened before that. On 6th of August, I met her. It was Saturday, 6 August 2011. I met Professor Chu. We have weekly meeting on Saturday, and she asked me to submit the biannual report. I submitted that report to her, and she said, okay, we will discuss on Monday. Second thing, regarding my project, because that was new to me, and I have found something which was contradicting the previous results. So I found one paper, reference paper, Journal of American Chemical Society or something like that. So I showed that paper to her, and she asked about me what is in that. To be honest, I just take the print of that and I emphasize on part which was relevant to me, and I showed her the result. So she suggested me it's better if I can go through that whole paper and we can discuss that later on. I said fine. On Saturday, she is giving me an image. We will discuss about the probationary report, we will talk about that particular paper which is relevant to our work. And on Monday, 8th of August, when I visited her office, she said, oh, please have seat. I said, all of a sudden she print exam, this is your final exam for confirmation. It's just like the way someone is preparing me to have half sleeve for summer camp, and all of a sudden there is rain or there is snow. So I even don't shiver there. Don't you think it's like that? She is preparing me for discussion of probationary report, for discussion of that particular paper, and on that day she is asking me, this is your exam for confirmation.
I'm not able to comment.
That's why I asked, make her to be answerable for my questions. Because I know she is the right person who can answer this. And if I am producing any single statement wrong, I allow you or anybody, it's also written in several emails, to take what legal action or disciplinary action is there against me. And if she is denying, then take the action against her.
She has used a criteria to judge your suitability.
Why not the same criteria is applicable for everybody?
We apply the same standards for everybody, Amit.
You never inform everybody for such exams. Then why she told me on 2nd of May? You want me to produce that email where she write something to me?
As I said, I don't want to...
I hope you have gone through those 55 pages you talked about.
I have gone through very carefully. All I can say is PhD...
But even then...
an individual...
Okay, I am with her. Just for a moment. I am again with her. That she was right to ask me for a paper without informing me. Okay, I am with her for the time being. But in the probationary report, she herself, I did not ask her, she herself and the DRPC had they said 6 months evaluation time. So I don't know, her math is so poor that she cannot calculate that from 16 May onward to 8th August, it makes almost less than 3 months, 2.5 months maybe. And out of those 2.5 months, I took 1 week course which was offered by the Hong Kong U and Imperial College London jointly. That consumes 1 week. 1 week was consumed. She asked me to write the probationary report. She changed this rule from I think June or July. I am not exactly sure about the month, but I have quoted that her email there. That from now onwards, students are supposed to write the detailed explanatory probationary reports, including all the things, procedure, NMR and other things. And she said, she herself, it's in written that previously students put this part when they have to write their thesis. So I consumed 1 week in writing the probationary report. So if I include almost 2 weeks from 16 May to 8th August, and if I include Saturday, Sunday holidays, I am provided less than 2 months to improve.
Now here you have a point. Let me tell you how it works.
Yes,
okay?
please.
We do the biannual report, right? And usually the students will join in September, okay, although we allow PhD students to. Okay, so the first report will go around February and the second report around the end of August. Okay, that's usually the reporting time.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm listening.
So this is why we usually have the reporting time of end of August. So I agree that this issue, the time issue, is also, they said 6 months. But at the same time, I need to again say that what we tend to do is if a student we feel is not making adequate progress, okay, we inform them as soon as possible. We try and we feel that they're not going to be able to meet the standard. We do not want to prolong.
Fine.
Okay, I mean, the thing is, one of the things we look at the Board of Graduate Study, okay, is sometimes if the supervisor, the DRPC, the FHDC feels that a student's progress is barely satisfactory, we do not like it if they continue for 2 years, because then the student has wasted 2 years and wasted 2 years. So the fact that you were informed before is that they have made a judgment. Yes, they have given you time to improve, but maybe not 6 months. Maybe they felt it's also in your best interest if they feel that you're not meeting that requirement that they have.
I must like to praise and applaud them for considering my interest in this way.
But you don't have to, but...
No, they really deserve appreciation that they consider my interest in such a wonderful way.
But, well, as Professor Rao said, if, now again it is an academic decision. If the supervisor, based on all her information that she gathered,
I am
at the end of the probationary period.
Professor Nirmala Rao, you are representing Professor Chu and Board of Graduate Studies. As I have mentioned in my email and the appeal, in the first biannual report answering question 8B, my supervisor, former supervisor, she said, regarding the particular kind of remedial actions to be taken. She mentions that he is already being monitored and working with the postdoctoral fellow in the same firm and bench. He is encouraged to upgrade his theoretical knowledge by taking additional courses, if any. My first question: Professor Chu is a professor here to a minimum of 10 years. According to the best of my knowledge, she is in Hong Kong U related in some extent since 1995-1996. Was she aware that whether there will be any course available or not after mid of May?
I don't.
A professor is supposed to be aware of this fact or not? No, it's a matter of my career.
Yeah.
It's a matter of my career. Was she aware of this fact or not?
Usually we do not have courses in the summer, but there may be workshops, there may
So
be...
on what ground she mentioned this particular sentence, that he is encouraged to upgrade his theoretical knowledge by taking additional course if available? Don't you think that it maybe she has some reason behind this? That's why I asked if she is available here, I can address my concerns to her.
But this is not a personal thing, Ahmed. This is not a personal
I think
thing.
it's plotted. This thing is plotted. If she is not sure that there is no course, she can confirm from the graduate school or whether there will be any course or not. Why she is mentioning this kind of remedial action? So did you ask that whether in the 2 months she provided me for improvement, she provided any theoretical improvement for which she took test after just two months? Did you ask from her?
I did not ask her this, but...
So who will ask?
No, but please, please do not think that she is against you. I have never met Dr. Chu, okay? I have not met
Professor Rao, how I don't think that she is not against me? On what grounds I think? Can you give me one solid reason that I don't think that she is not against me?
She is looking at whether she's making a decision. She has to supervise many students about whether you can meet the academic requirements to work, to get a PhD in chemistry. You know, our chemistry department at Hong Kong U is considered one of the best in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need to tell you that it is, so there are high standards, and she is making an academic decision whether you can meet those standards.
Okay, for remedial action, the first sentence was, he is already being monitored and working with a postdoc fellow in the same film hood and bench. I write an email to her on the same date, 16th May 2011, that the postdoc she has deputed there, it's true that he is working with me on the same film hood, but the second thing is not right, that he is helping me and monitoring me. I have literally mentioned that whenever I ask something from him, not exclusively, sometimes he tell me, sometimes not, but mostly he says, you are not supposed to ask from me.
So I understand what you're saying.
And even when you are saying, I don't think that she is against me.
I think she is making a judgment on an academic standard. Okay. Now
so why these formalities then? She can simply say, okay, go man. What's the need of these formalities? Just to prove somewhere that, oh, she has done like this. I want her to be answerable for these things.
I think you have to. I think you need now, Ahmed, to think about your future. Okay. You need to think. I think you are prepared for a decision from the graduate school, okay? I'm going to convey this decision to you, okay? But we also care about you. The graduate school, the Board of Graduate Studies... Sorry, Professor Nirvana, I am interrupting you. Without hearing me and without making the concerned person answerable to my questions, what else decision do you do? That's up to you. You can keep that in your record. I have no concern with that. I don't accept that decision, and I challenge that at every forum. Sorry to say that. We have looked at the procedures that has been followed by the faculty. We have looked at the documentation. We have looked at what we have done in good faith, and
I am talking about these grounds. I am talking about these grounds. It's written by herself. I am not compelled to write these things. She writes these things quite freely. Yes. So if you have a copy, look at the question number it's 5A in the first biannual report. She mentioned that please estimate the proportion of the candidate's research work completed, including writing up of the thesis.
That was 5%.
5%.
Yeah.
And if you go directly to the second biannual report, same question, same answer, 5%. And she has mentioned very interestingly, answering question 2, I have spent more time on teaching this candidate than the other students. If she has spent more time on teaching me, without her presence, I do 5%, and when after issuing me this warning, when she spent more time with me, I do 0% work. So don't it make her accountable that in her presence I have 0% performance and in her absence I have 5% performance?
You're asking these micro questions.
No, it's matter of my career. I have every right to ask these questions.
Okay.
I came here, I choose this Hong Kong University by denying these many offers, all of them with full scholarship. These are from Canada, Taiwan, South Korea. All of them are with scholarships. So in this way she is paying me for being here.
Please, I don't know how
And if you please go to the same first biannual report, question number 5B.
I have it with me. I don't have that page.
I have a copy of it. This is second biannual report, this is first biannual report, and if you look here, I have highlighted it, the question 5B. She is saying that I will be able to finish on March 2014, but in the second biannual report she is saying I will be able to finish December 2015. So just ignore all the things. If someone is a new student here, he has to settle, he has to adjust with the environment, he has to know how the lab works, from where to get the chemicals, how to use the equipments, and all the things which are necessary for a new student for settlement. He has gone through that, and he knows how the demonstratorship works here, and what kinds of things are being expected, things like that. Whether the expected time should decrease or increase.
Again, that is an academic decision. Say, if during
No, I need the answer of this decision. If there is an academic decision, it has no answer.
There is an answer.
What's the answer?
No. We have actually gone through many of these questions at the meeting with Professor Dajin and Dr. Pauline Chiu. She did give some answers, but of course you disagree with the answers. But that doesn't mean...
No, I need the answer. I am not provided with the answers.
Well, but it is, no, logically it is possible. Well, if from her judgment of
and
what she did in those 2 months, okay, from May to August this year, and she thought, well, actually no progress was done, and she thought, well, actually with her giving you more time and still things were not happening, so she could have a reason to extend the expected completion date. That is possible.
You are right. You are right. Okay. I am with you and I am with her in this regard.
Yeah.
So can you ask her to be answerable for this, that if within 2 months I have done 0 progress, and based on that she thinks that I will be delayed by more than 24 months time. So can you ask from her that if I have given more than 3 seminars, more than 3 mean, as I have mentioned, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20, up to 100. I don't know what she means more than 3. Okay, let's assume it to be just 4, not more. So what I have presented during those seminars if my progress is 0. And she says that we also have meeting once weekly or more frequently. Okay, we don't go more frequently, which also be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, just once weekly. So within 2 months, a minimum there are 8 weeks. So what we have discussed during those 8 weeks if we have done nothing? And I can challenge, as you mentioned in the email, that other students have done 200 experiments while I have done just 90 experiments. I am not exactly sure about the number, but I have done 20 to 30 experiments during these 2 months times. And the reason, I admit, that's not a very high pace, I admit. But there is a reason why this is not very high pace. If she is available here, I can ask in your presence that what's the reason. She herself asked me to wait for the result and then we will proceed further after discussion.
I think, Amit, the thing is, what you're mentioning, the academic things, you had the opportunity to talk with the Faculty of Science about...
No opportunity.
I think there was...
The meeting on 9th November held. I was not told about what's the agenda of that meeting. They said there is a meeting and that's all. You have to be there at certain time. No one told me who will be there in the meeting, what will be the agenda of the meeting, and things like that. I don't call that a fair meeting. On the other hand, I told to the Professor Albert Chow, my supervisor, she was sitting there, she was having a bunch of paper with her. It means she was informed about that meeting.
Amit, what are you going to do now? The graduate school is going to recommend that the faculty's decision is upheld. I think for the reasons...
I call it abuse of power and I will protest against it.
I think we have...
Because you people have not heard me.
We have received all your documents.
So what's the use of that? What's the use of that?
We have looked at them. We have considered...
Just look at that and put it aside. If you have looked at it, did you ask the questions from these, answer for these questions from her?
We did not ask those are
because she is a professor, because she is from your same cadre from yours. She has all the right to do what else she wants to do.
I don't think it works like that. I really don't.
But I think it works like that way here in Hong Kong. Sorry to say.
But I do want to say to you that we do want to support...
One thing more. The faculty, DRPC, they said they are extending my studentship for 1 month and then for another month. And they said if the DRPC head is present here, I asked from him, they promised that they will help me to find a new supervisor either within Hong Kong in Hong Kong or outside of Hong Kong. So can you have the dare to ask from them that what kind of assistance they had provided? Other than the head of department, he has provided me some reference letter. But I am saying, to be very honest, that he has provided some reference letter. If you look here, this is NCKU International Student Admission Office in Taiwan. If you see Professor Chen, it's incomplete, not completed. This is for his reference letter status. The other professor who said, his name is Professor Chen, Professor CM Chi. He said, you can put my name, it's his own words. If he is here, I can say on his face. He said, you can put my name as referee, I will write reference letter for you. I said, that's fine. My main objective not to have tussle with anybody. I am here for study purposes. But later on, when I visited his office several times for reference letter, he said, oh, I will give you today, I will give you tomorrow. And that tomorrow never come. And not only this, he said, if you don't complain about Professor Chu, I can accommodate you for a couple of months. I said, thanks man, I don't need your conditional help, which is equal to bribery for me. Did you ask these things from those people when you are endorsing the decision of faculty and endorsing the decision of DRPC? No, Board of Graduate Study have these guts to ask from those people. You people invite foreign students and treat them in this way.
It's clear that you're very angry and upset.
I have no reason for that. I am illogical. I am irrational for that. I am madman. That's why I am upset. You want to say that?
No, I'm not saying that. I think it's a very common reaction. I think
No, I am honest enough. If you people listen me, maybe my professor has some reason for that, and she justified that why, on what ground she has written all these things, and she convinced me and all the people involved in the meeting. She has logical answers. I am honest. I am bold enough that I can leave without any grudges. But the problem is, you people, I am sorry to say, you people have favored the professor because of conflict of interest, and you have sacrificed, you have slaughtered the career of a student.
I don't think so. I think we
It seems to me. It seems to me.
We have procedures. We please believe me. If you see, what one needs to do is look at the procedures, whatever the outcome of the decision, okay? What we are focusing on is making sure that everything is done correctly. You know, it's due process. So the decision can go either way. So for example...
That's fair. It can go. I am ready to accept that decision, but provided it's fair, provided both the parties concerned are heard fairly, openly, but without making the other person answerable to the concern. Maybe she has some questions from me. I am here to answer her concerns. Why my progress was slow? What were the factors? Why I could not perform well in the exams? I am here to answer her questions. And one thing more, people say that don't compare other students. I asked from her in the previous meeting when Professor Dajan was there, that there was another poor student. She was a Chinese, to the best of my knowledge, and she could not perform well in the exams. She allowed her to sit in the basic course, and my colleagues told me that she could not perform well there, and she even allowed her to sit for the very basic course. So why not me? It's also written in her email. I have quoted that email.
You asked many of these questions before at the meeting with the
yes.
professor. I believe you also asked these questions.
Yes, she said, oh, we cannot compare. Professor Dajan said we cannot compare. Why we cannot compare? Well, no, listen. Why we need to compare? She mentioned here that, where is that compared with his peers, his knowledge is very poor. So when she is supposed to compare me with my peers, why not I am supposed to compare myself with other peers? Yes, here she mentions, answering question 2b, the candidate has significantly less practical and theoretical knowledge compared to his peers. If you want to read, it's mentioned here. So when she is allowed to compare, why not I am allowed to compare?
PhD supervision is very much an individual matter. Okay, we deal with people's strengths and weaknesses. Some people may be good in statistical analysis, some people may be good in experimental, running experiments, whatever. But there is a basic knowledge.
Professor Nirmala Rao, I don't remember the date. I have quoted this in my appeal, that I asked her when she discontinued me in August, that don't allow me. She admitted that there was a student who completed his or her PhD in more than 5 years. I asked her, don't extend my studentship for years, 6 months and things like that. Just give me 3 months. It's written. Just give me 3 months. If I could not perform, I will leave without any grudges. I will have no complaint from you. And I asked, she said, oh, I have some financial, she write an email that she has some financial tight, budget is tight and things like that. I said, if you have something like that, I can even work without pay. It's written. So did you ask that why she did not give me a chance, while she has given chance to that the other student who was Chinese or Hong Kong?
I was going to say that you asked all these questions. Professor Chiu gave you some answers. I understand that you don't agree, you are not convinced, okay?
No, you are saying, oh, you have to finish within 1 hour. If I debate with her, maybe we cannot finish just one question in 1 hour.
Well, but we have to do things in a reasonable manner. We could not, just like today, we cannot...
No, the thing which is acceptable, which is logical, that I will accept. You know, on that day she was giving example, oh, if there is a policeman and he is giving token to some cause but not to the others, we cannot call him unfair. It means, in other words, she is admitting herself that she has treated me in different way.
Your case has gone through your supervisor, the Department High Degrees Committee.
Department High Degree,
Could you please let me finish first?
Professor, please, you don't count that in. Because the member of the DRPC committee, he is offering me bribery, he is offering me conditional help, and he is the most senior person in that department. How I can believe that decision was fair?
Let me finish first, okay?
Please.
You don't accept the decision.
Okay.
Now, you have the freedom, you have the right of doing so. Now, but at least we have the supervisor, we have the Department High Degrees Committee, we have the Faculty High Degrees Committee, now we have the graduate school. I understand that you have filed a grievance to the Vice Chancellor. Again, there will be a procedure to look at it. Now, at this moment, at this juncture, at least 4 parties have made the same decision. They look at
without listening me.
Well, they have read your documents and Professor...
But they have no answer for my questions.
You also met Professor Chen, the department head. Obviously, you have also met Professor Pauline Chiu. You met with all of them, you submitted your documents. If you hold on to your view that they didn't listen to you, again, it is your freedom, it is your right.
No, I don't hold on. You listened to me, the Board of Graduate Study listened to me. You listened to me?
We looked at every paper.
No, please clarify him that he is saying that I can hold on. No, they did not listen to me.
It's your belief that they don't listen to you, but they have read your documents. Well,
documents don't have context.
The graduate school...
I cannot, say for example, I mentioned that on 8th August regarding the test, this thing happened. They don't have context. What happened on the 6th of August? They don't have this context.
You documented a lot of this. This is all familiar to me. I have seen all the emails.
And you are satisfied with all that, and then you are deciding?
Yes.
Then why you don't have answer for these questions?
We have looked at all the
That's fine. That's fine. I am not... Look, I have no doubt that you have looked or not. But what's the use of look that when she's saying in one report that the progress is 5%, in others the progress is 5%, and she is also claiming that she spent much time and we had meeting, there were seminars. So why she is not accountable for my 0% performance in that?
What I was trying to say is that now, today, Professor Rao conveys the decision of the graduate school to you. There is no way for us, the 3 of us at this meeting, to change that decision. Okay?
I don't accept without even having a look.
No, you don't accept the decision.
Because I am not being heard, so I have reservations about that it's a bias and it's use of power.
But at this meeting, Professor Rao cannot change the decision. Obviously, I cannot change the decision because I'm not in that decision. If you don't accept the decision, then we have to wait for the VC to handle your grievance.
VC don't have time for the students' affairs.
No, there is a procedure. VC talks to me all the time about student affairs.
Wow,
okay.
It's surprising. First time I am hearing. I have seen him on the U Visions. Oh, I feel very happy when people talk to me. They share their problems and things. But I visited his office a couple of times.
I know.
I appealed for appointment. They said, oh, he's damn busy. He has so much time.
He's very busy. But
so whom should we look for? Board of Graduate School is they are not listening us. So whom should we look for if he is busy?
Now, anyway, what I'm trying to say is that now, okay, as we discussed yesterday, now the decision now is here. You can continue with the procedures within the university.
And before this,
okay, let me finish first. And I understand that you have written to other officers in Hong Kong and outside Hong Kong. If those people want to review the decision of Hong Kong, they can do it. Now, but as we discussed yesterday, you can go on with all these procedures. But you still have to plan ahead. Okay, you want to stay in Hong Kong.
Oh, I find some good job, you know, Professor
You find
David.
what?
Good job.
You have already found a job.
Yes, I will fight for my right, and I will take Professor Q to the court.
Now again, that is your right if you want to pursue that. Did you just say you have found a job?
Yes,
in
that's
Hong
my
Kong?
job. That's my job, that I will fight for my right. Now
Okay.
that's my job.
That's your job. So,
Yes.
so you will stay in Hong Kong.
More likely I will stay. I am trying to approach the legal aid system, and I will disclose all the things which happen here in this meeting, and I will share all the other things with them. I have already contacted a couple of people there. And one thing more before we wind up this meeting, I have a question from you. You are endorsing the decision of faculty. As I told you that they consumed 45 days to formalize that decision, and Board of Graduate School, they have finalized this decision in, I guess, 4 or 5 days. Am I right?
No, that's not correct.
No, you told me that you are waiting to hear from the faculty. The faculty issued this letter on 22, and it was handed over to me, not directly by the department. Faculty even don't have this moral courage to hand over this letter to me directly. And I have these reservations about that they issued this letter on 22nd November, and why they hand over this to me on 23rd November. They issued this letter on 23rd November, even though it's 22nd November dated, for me it's 23rd November. So after that, I write to you, I have email here. See, this is my last question maybe from you, where you said, I think it was addressed by you, you said that you are waiting to hear from the faculty. So before faculty you cannot formulate a decision. So the decision from faculty is formulated on here. We understand that the faculty had a meeting with you on November 9. The Board of Graduate Studies will consider the case once the relevant information is available from the faculty.
Yeah,
According to this, the informations are available on November 22nd, not November 22nd, November 23. And if this is available to you on November 22nd, even if I agree with this faculty, so you, today is 29th of November, so 7 days. So you have formalized, please let me finish my question first. You have formalized this decision within 7 days. They consumed 45 days. What for?
Okay.
And if they have,
you need to listen to
please.
When you first formalize the case, we have a small group that is looking at it. So we have first considered it in a small group. Okay, and then we have asked the faculty, we're waiting to hear we have asked for some additional information for the faculty. So once that became available, we could make our decision. So it's just, you can't say it's just 7 days, because we have considered the other information before.
And you know, this letter issued by head of chemistry department,
yes.
Professor Chen,
yes.
he said that in the letter of October, this, you should know, requested by faculty, the DRPC had an other meeting on October 14, 2011 to discuss your complaint to faculty. As I inform you, our decision has been communicated to faculty after the meeting. I met him on 21st of October, and this letter was issued to me on 28th October.
Yeah.
So he told me the same on 21st October. I can produce email for that. So if I assume that 14th October this meeting was held, maybe a couple of days for conveying the decision, 15th, 16th October, and after 16th October till 23rd of November, what they have done, why they delayed this decision? Don't you think that it make me to think that it was influenced, it was delayed by the influence? Or is there any other reason? I want to know that reason.
I'm afraid I'm not able to answer that.
So how you can endorse their decision?
We have looked at the procedures.
So if you have looked, answer me this question, please.
Asking why it's taken a longer time.
Yes.
Okay.